Okay, I guess I'm gonna do it this way. It's gonna start all over again, but that's fine. Um, my name is Ismael Hernandez. I'm a volunteer firefighter. Been doing it for 7 months now, since September. Um, for those of you that don't know about me, well, I guess I didn't really explain who I am, but like I said, my name is Ismael Hernandez. I'm 27 years of age. Uh, been on the department for 7 months now. Currently doing firefighter 1 and EMR class. Hoping to pass them, fingers crossed. Nickname is Yo-Yo, and I'll get to that here a little bit after. But first things first, I want to give my condolences to what I always say, my buddies down south. Neighboring town, 30 minutes away, 40, somewhere around there. Depends on how fast you drive, right? But yeah, my thoughts and prayers go out to my buddies down south. I'm recording this on a Sunday night. Well, they lost one of their own Friday morning. So again, my thoughts and prayers go out to them. And if you guys could keep them in your thoughts and prayers, because man, I bet it was tough for them. I mean, to be coming into one of the biggest weekends in the year and losing one of your own Friday morning, and then having to get right back to it that same night, and the whole weekend. Yeah, I'll say you guys got balls of steel. So again, thoughts and prayers, and y'all do a fantastic job. I want y'all to know I look up to a lot of you guys. You guys are great mentors down there. But so like I said, I want to get into myself a little bit more. Why I joined, I was in bed. I believe it was on a Wednesday night. No, Thursday. It was a Thursday night. And, before I got into the fire service, I had jobs where it was just completely impossible to get in. So, I was truck driving at the time. And before I even thought about joining the fire service, and before I started, while during I was truck driving, I wanted to do first responding. And I literally thought about becoming law enforcement, sheriff's deputy or a police officer, before I ever thought about joining the fire service. So please forgive me. But it did go through my head, and I had talked to various people about doing it. And I don't know, I think just for some reason, it kind of faded off, At some point I was like, I don't want to do law enforcement. Maybe not, now is not the time. Well, eventually never was the time, and I'm totally fine with that, honestly. So, yeah. So when it came to joining the fire service, I would always talk to my friends, and, that were firefighters, like, hey, how does it work? How, this and that. I had a bunch of questions. And again, it was one of them deals where I really procrastinated on it. Wasn't sure I was able to do it, but then again, my job didn't allow me to do it. Whether I was a local truck driver or over the road truck driver, I was just never here. I'm never home. And, they would always tell me, like, well, we need day help. That's what we need really bad. So, talk about it, forget it. Yeah, it was an ongoing process. And then finally I got a job to where I was able to be home and, work good hours. And when I mean good hours, I mean, like, I go do my work and then I'm home, and I love my job. But, sorry, there's a spider over here, and it's fascinating. I'm like that dog on Up. I get that, like, see a squirrel. But anyways, finally got the job to where I was able to, that has decent hours, and I was able to do firefighting. So here I go again. It was like I said, it was a Thursday night of their fire meeting at the time, because I wasn't a firefighter. So laying in bed, and literally I asked my buddy, I was like, hey, you guys at the fire department? He said yes. Like, come talk to the guys. And me, I'm very antisocial unless I get a few drinks in me. But yeah, I'm starting to come out of my shell. So, here, nervous as all get out, butterflies in my stomach. I went to the fire department, and well, on my way there, they had gotten a call because it was storming. So, lightning, thunder, and they had a few grass fires pop up around the area. So, well, nobody was there by the time I was gonna go. So I was like, well, maybe this isn't the time. So fast forward 2 weeks after that, on the fourth week of the month, their second fire meeting, they I went. I texted him again. I was like, hey, y'all there? He's like, yeah, come by. So grabbed a chair, sat down, started talking to the guys, listening. Really, I mean, I listened to what they had to say, and I was just trying to get a feel what it was about. I didn't expect people to, like tell me like, this is how it works, this is how we do it, stuff like that. But more or less just listening to what they had to say. Because obviously it's important, right? The chief is saying something, listen. And after he got done saying what he needed to say, we hopped into washing trucks, and me again, just sitting there. I'm not on the fire department. I was like, well, why not help them wash trucks? So, I'm there. I really want it. So why not wash trucks to show that I really want it? So yeah, we washed trucks, and got that all done. And then after that, I might be wrong, but I almost feel like this is right. That I think a couple hours after fire meeting, I got told that I was on. And you talk about excitement, I was excited. But I got told that I was on. So me, I was next day, woke up, I was like, man, when do I go try out my gear? I was asking all these kinds of questions. When I go get my gear, when I'm able to respond to calls, this and that. And it took maybe a couple days, and I was told like, hey, for now, you're just gonna, like, I'll just text you when something's going on. But day after, I was able to get my pager on my phone and was able to respond to calls. So that was great. But the excitement factor of it, man, that was crazy, because I would go home to my family, my mom, my grandma, my sister, and be like, hey, what do you guys think my first fire call is going to be? Like, I would ask my friends, like, oh, it's going to be fire, it's going to be a wreck. Well, funny story is, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, about 4 days after I started in the fire service. Can't exactly remember, but 4 days to a week. And 4 o'clock in the morning, dead asleep. They could, put a grenade outside of my house and I probably wouldn't have woke up. But when it came to the tones dropping, yeah, I woke up, and here go 4 o'clock in the morning, woke up out of my sleep, went to the fire department. At this time, I didn't have any way to get in, no access code, no key to the door, nothing. And, wait for another firefighter to get there. Because the way we work is, once the tones drop, we hop in our personal vehicles, go to the fire department, get our gear, hop in a fire truck, go to the call. And it might sound like it takes forever, but it doesn't. We get to our calls within, I think, a really good amount of time. Because, somebody needs help, right? There's an emergency. So, went to the fire department, got in the fire truck, went over here. Gas company was already on scene. They just needed somebody to plug, because I don't want to get too into detail about the way the gas company around here works, but they used to be able to plug gas meters, and it came to the point where they weren't able to anymore. So that's where we came in, excuse me. And so we went there, plugged it, made sure everything was fine. Back home on our way. Back to the department, drop the truck off, drop gear off, hop in my personal vehicle, sleep next day. You wanted to talk about probably boring my friends and my family to death. I mean, my first call, I could talk about it for days, and it wasn't nothing special, you know what I mean? But it was special to me, so um, I was probably talking about it all day, going back and listening to the tones drop and stuff like that. I don't know, something about it is just it got me going. But I really, I really think another reason I joined, and this probably plays a bigger factor into why I joined compared as to like, oh, you know, the light switch kicked on. Um, so I'm not afraid to say that I suffer from real bad anxiety. I do. My mind races 24/7, and it can be about the littlest of things that probably I shouldn't even worry about, but I do. We're all human, right? So, yeah, my anxiety, I just felt like it was overtaking me, and I was like, well, what's something that I can do that will help ease my anxiety? And that's probably where the light switch, you know, just turned on, because first responding is, I mean, helping people. Helping people is a great way to get over anxiety. Like, you can't, I mean, first of all, you have so much adrenaline that you can put down an elephant, but yeah, just I wanted to help people, and I felt like that was the key to my anxiousness, is just helping people. I've always been good at helping people where I can, but I never really felt like it was just doing the job. And you know, sometimes I question now, being on the fire department, like, if I'm really making a difference, which that's not my end goal. I mean, yeah, I want to make a difference, but it's I want it to sound like, oh me, like, no, it makes me feel better. It calms my anxiety down, and that's the reason why I like doing it so much. So, um, that's a really good one into why I joined it. It calms my anxiety down. I mean, there's no better, I think, feeling in the world. I mean, obviously I have my daughter, and my daughter's gonna be my, you know, that's my first priority. She will always be the reason I do what I do, and I strive for success. But I would put you know, the way I think about it, it's God first, family second, and then helping people to me. I mean, I have my job. I'm thankful for my job, and I'm sure that's number 4, but it's in that order. It's, you know, God, work, the fire service, helping people, not just strictly fire service, but helping people, and then my job, because my job gives me the opportunity to do what I do, right? I can't just do the fire service. I mean, I definitely would, but you know, full time just is something that our that our volunteer fire department obviously doesn't offer, and I'm a little too scared to become full time EMS. To be honest with you, I like riding in, you know, the big red truck, big white truck that goes wee woo, right? We all do. That's part of the adrenaline. But it's helped my anxiety a lot, for one, and it's amazing how much it's helped my anxiety. Actually, knowing that you could possibly help somebody is great. I think it's great, and that's where I give respect to these full-time departments, because they want to help people, and they're doing it full time. I mean, one thing about our department is, we're in a very rural community, about, I want to say 1,800 people, but it might be a little less than that. But we cover 3 towns in this whole county we have, which is, I don't know how many acres, to be honest, square miles, I don't know. It's pretty decent county, though. We're here in, you know, the corner of southwest Kansas, and our resources are very limited. So we end up doing mutual aid, which is helping nearby counties get to their calls faster, especially if it's something bad like an accident or something. Like, if it wasn't for us, you'd probably be waiting a good 20, 30 minutes for anybody to get to you. So I think what we got going on down here is great. I think we're in a great spot. As far as mutual aid goes, it's hard to go help somebody and you have nobody else to pick up the calls if there is any in the county, because when we're over here in this county, well, we have to, now there's something happening in our county, now we have to migrate over to our county, and that's just putting time away, that's putting us further away for us to get to people in need of help. So yeah, that's the reason I joined, is helping how I can. And that leads me to my next thing, is training. So I'm currently doing Firefighter 1 now, and again, my buddies down south are doing that, and I'll tell you what, they're great. They push us, so hard. They push us, it's not to the point, I say so hard because I'm out of shape, and I never really took working out seriously, not until now. Like, I'm starting to realize, like, hey, I gotta be in shape for this stuff, like, because if we're gonna make a push inside to go save somebody, like inside of a burning house, or inside of a burning structure, then I need to be fit enough to be able to do that. So I'm starting to realize, especially going down there, that hey, like, I need to get on that horse and start riding, because if I'm out of shape, I ain't gonna make it. The number one cause of death in firefighters is heart problems, cardiac arrest, heart failure. It's scary to think about, and if you ain't fit enough to do it, then it's just almost near impossible to do it good, if that makes sense. Because I think anybody can become a firefighter, and I do believe that there is people that could go in and do a great job, but you always strive to be better. At least me, I know I do, and that's where my main focus is at now, is trying to be better. I'm striving to be better at what I do. So, taking this Firefighter 1 class, we did this. I went to this training in I probably shouldn't say the name, but I went to this training over northeast of where I live, about 2 hours away, and I did forcible entry, and I think it was street smart pumper or something like that. But that stuff, like, that's new to me. Like, I never knew anything about forcing doors or even pumping a truck, and I'm still on the line of knowing how to pump a truck. That's just something I need to get with one of the veterans and be like, hey, show me how to pump this truck. But going down there and realizing, like, how much work it was eye-opening. It was like, oh man, that's a lot. That's very tiring. It's good knowledge. It's very good knowledge. It was fun, but it's exhausting. So, not so much a street smart pumper. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into pumping, and one of the instructors down there, like, you're not just pumping the truck, you got to be a working firefighter. So, if it's throwing ladders, putting out ventilation, as far as fans go and stuff like that, you just got to get after it. So yeah, it can get tiring. Because you're the guy outside, you're the guys that are inside, you're their source to water. If you can't get that pump going, if you don't get them ladders thrown, if you don't get some type of ventilation going, as far as, putting out fans, stuff like that, then you guys it's going to be a struggle. Like, and doing that down there, and then coming over here down south and doing this Firefighter 1, it's really eye-opening. Again, rural community, we don't get a lot of calls, but I just refuse to be the one that doesn't know what to do when something happens, when we have that structure fire and there's people inside. I don't want to be just what I see on TikTok all the time, Hifty. I don't want to hit it hard from the yard. Like, I want to go in and be able to save somebody. I've heard a lot, always expect the victim. Like, always expect that there's somebody inside. And I think that's how it should be, honestly. I mean, this is my opinion, and you join the fire service knowing that you're risking your life to save others, and you got to be completely fine with it. I mean, it's just part of it. And maybe some people will call it selfish. I don't see how it's selfish. You're helping others, right? You're trying to save other people's lives. So yes, I mean, I have a family. I have my my parents. I love my parents. I love my daughter. I love my grandma, my sister, my brother. I have them. I have friends that are amazing. It's just, you can't be scared. Like, you gotta want to do it. And that's another thing I want to get to, is being passionate about it. You got to be passionate about every call. You can't just be, oh, it's this big structure fire, I'll go to that one, but the next day it's a lift assist or something, and you don't want to go to that one. These guys that I've noticed here in these full-time departments, they don't get to pick and choose what calls they go to, right? It's even if it's that lift assist at 2 a.m., like, they're still gonna go. And they're still gonna go to that structure fire. They're gonna go to that big grass fire. I think it's, for us volunteers, yeah, it's when you can make it. But the way I think about it is, if you can make it, you know? Like, go. You got to be just as passionate about the structure fire or about the lift assist as you are the structure fire or the big grass fire. I mean, and that's not calling people out. Trust me, I'm not. I mean, I know I have somebody that'll be like, well, you're calling me out. No, I'm not. I mean, I understand you have a life aside from going to every fire call, but just from my perspective, that's how I think about it. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. And I've never went into anything, and I won't say that I never half-ass it, because I do, but the fire service is not something you half-ass, and my job is not something you half-ass. I usually try to do the best of my ability in everything that I do, but I'm not going to say it happens all the time, because exhaustion is real. Mental health is real, and sometimes it's just not the time, right? But yeah, so firefighter 1, the training down northeast of me, learning how to break doors open. I did do a extrication class, they do through for our department. I learned a lot of stuff there. Guy from down east came down, and he's also a full-time firefighter over there, and showed us some extrication, and that was great. Forcing doors, and then it came to like pulling hose is a big one. The more bigger ones is search and rescue. I'll tell you what, that is hard. They put you in the ringer over there where I'm going for fire 1, and I mean, you want to talk about the first time they put a rag, or they made me put my hood in front of my mask so I couldn't see, and you don't know like where you're going. And I was on the RIT team, so they did a scenario where we had 2 down firefighters, past alarms going off, and it's like almost you get tunnel vision, or you can't focus enough, if that makes sense. They showed us how to search, and you go against the wall in the tripod position, and you go, and it's fast, you go, but then it was like, well, you know where the firefighters are because the past alarms are going off, okay? So it's funny because everything obviously go through a door, right? You do your initial sweep, or it's what, I don't know the exact term, I'd have to think on it, but it's where you go in the door, you size up the scene basically. So you go in the door, lay out, get really low, you're looking for live. If you can see the location of the fire, and what is it, live? I can't remember. See, I go blank, and I'm gonna get into that too because I go blank. But you do your sweep. Lay low. Look for victims that are laying right there in the doorway, because humans tend to run to doorways or get close to windows when their house is on fire and full of smoke. But then you start searching. I mean, you can't see. And the first time they put us through, the hood backwards and stuff like that, it was tough. I mean, you got these guys yelling in your ear like, hurry up, they're dying, stuff like that. And I mean, kudos to them, man, because you guys I love them guys down south, man. I don't give them guys enough credit because they're super good guys. They want the best for you. But they put it to you, and it was super hard. And you come out and they're like, you got all the victims, and when you think you have all of them, you don't have all of them. And it's like your first time doing it. It's just intense, So we did that the first time, and then we did some confined space training. And confined space, man, that's a whole different ball game too. I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'2". I weigh 240-ish roughly. And you don't want to fit in them little spaces. You don't. It's crazy. So I remember I got put through their little contraptions that they got. It's a little triangle, and it's got a 2x4 at the end. Getting in that little triangle was easy, but then you get that 2x4 that's just a little lower, and you can't get your tank. So here I go, taking my tank off and then getting my way through. Well, I'd gas myself out going through that little triangle. By the time I get out of it, I had to put my tank back on and then go in what they call a therapy box. And I remember getting in the therapy box, and I was so wound up and so gassed. I was like, okay. I looked at one of the instructors, and I was like, how long do I have to do this? And he's like, 15 minutes. I was like, okay, I'm gonna catch my breather, which I probably shouldn't have catched my breath, because in a fire situation where you have to get in and out, you don't want to be taking your time for sure. But I remember looking at him, asking to catch my breath, and finally got out, asked if I wanted to go again. Yeah, I want to go again. Well, by that time, the next group was coming around. So here I went to forcible entry and doing the doors, and man, so gassed from that, going to force the door open, and I struggled bad. But you have some good people down there. Both Justins, I don't want to say their full names, but both Justins, they were great. They were fantastic, and they taught me new stuff again on forcible entry. And I remember getting done with that and sitting on the back of the ambulance. I was like, man, why'd you guys do that? And he's like, because you've done forcible entry before. And I was like, I know, but man, I was so gassed. So working out is definitely a big deal. And I probably need to get better at it, but I have been doing better than what I was doing, right? So, yeah. And then the second time we did search and rescue, it was, they changed the whole layout of the room. And then, of course, you had your 3 victims. Well, we found 2. Went in, they had the fog machine going this time. We were just suited up normally, but they had the fog machine going. You have your flashlights going with the group of 4, and we go in, find 2 victims, and we couldn't find the 3rd victim. And so it was this armless, legless baby. I'm pretty sure there was one that was like a quad paraplegic that didn't have arms or legs, and so it made it that much harder. But we went in there, found 2 victims, getting low on air. We got out. And they're like, do you think you found all of them? And, like, no, I think there's still one in there. And they're like, well, there it is. So go back in there. Well, I made the mistake of the first time I did search and rescue, I didn't go back in because I was low on air. I was worried. I was like, I'm going to run out of air. And I go back. So I didn't go back in that time. And they really got it implanted in your head. And I know they don't try to be rude or anything, but just think of it, if it was your own, like your own family, if it was your own daughter, like how would you feel if the firefighter didn't go back in, right? And I know more or less that it depends on the situation, but I do like the way they think, and I think it's really great. So, second time around, we go back in, go to looking, we still can't find this victim. We come out, we ran out of air, come out, because, one of the Firefighters turned their pass on, and they're like, "We got to get out." Got out. They're like, "You know where he was?" And this is the big thing about checking everything. Baby was behind the door. Like, it's like, and we felt so defeated after that. I know we all did, because again, it's one of the things, like, you're taught to open the door, lay out, look right there. Look, that's the first place you should look before you start going in further. And so, yeah, felt pretty defeated, knowing that we didn't find a victim. Music's blaring loud. I mean, this music's ridiculously loud. It's so loud in there you can't think. You cannot think. And it's almost, it's crazy. You just gotta ground yourself and be like, okay. You gotta have kind of almost tunnel vision, I want to say, because if you lose track of that tunnel vision, then stuff just starts going left and right, and it doesn't end up good. Going back to the first scenario of search and rescue, like, I went in and I told my partner, I was like, we're going left. We're going to go left throughout the whole house. Well, we get in there and we get separated. So I'm over there by myself looking. I keep talking behind me, like, hey, are you back there? Like, are you still behind me? He wasn't behind me. So it's funny to see, but also you need to take it very seriously, because you gotta think it's real people in there. Even if it's just training, you gotta take it as serious as all get out, because if you don't, like, that's when people start getting complacent, and it's all fun and games, and it's really not all fun and games, right? So we did that. What's some other things we did? I'm trying to think. Forcible entry. I've done some extrication training. We did search and rescue training. Throwing your ladders, throwing hoses, stuff like that. Really, that's about it. If there's anything I want to say before I actually say my words of wisdom, my wise words, sorry, there's a bug. But my wise words is that, work out, like, get in shape. If you want to join the fire service, please be in shape or get in shape, because it'll kick your ass if you're not in shape, for sure. Watch what you eat too. I have a problem of eating. My eating habit was pretty bad. I was one of them, like, I'm bored, I eat, and that's had to stop. Enjoying your 32-ounce Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, whatever it is. And you know what? I love Coca-Cola. Like, ain't nothing better to me than fountain Coca-Cola. Like, that's so good. But I've had to stop, because if I keep drinking it, then I'm never gonna get in shape, right? So, get in shape before you join the fire service. Yeah, just work, because if you don't, it'll open your eyes real quick. So what's to come? So realistically, for me at least, as far as fire service goes, I need to pass my firefighter 1. I need to pass my EMR class, at least for now. Focus on that. I do want to get my firefighter 2 eventually. I don't think I'm gonna hop into it right after I get done with my firefighter 1, just because the fact, like, with the homework and everything, it does get stressful. It's tough. Mixing firefighter 1 and EMR class together and doing the homework for both is kind of mind-boggling. So yeah, that I definitely want to go to as much trainings as I can. So for the people who are seeing this, and if you're in the fire service, if you have any trainings that are reasonably close to me, please reach out. I love going to them. I want to be able to the point. I don't want to be an instructor, I don't think, as of right now, but I do want to be able to teach people what I know. So I'm recording this in my shop. It's a pretty decent sized shop. Right now there's a truck, my brother's working on it, but and some motorcycles. The motorcycles didn't take up much space, but I do want to clean out my shop and have a little workout section, and maybe some confined space little drills, like what they have over there down south, therapy box. I want to do something like that. Little workout station to get better at the fire service, and I don't have to pay for gym membership or anything like that. I just want it all here at my house. That way I can, get off of work, come out back, work on some skills. So I'm in the process of getting that done. As far as what else? Let me get done with this. I want to hit more trainings. I want to do firefighter 2. I'm doing EMR. Maybe go up to EMT. Maybe. Don't know how I feel about that yet, but we'll see later on down the road. Really, I think that's what's coming up for me. I think that's really it that I want to get done. I know I would like to be an extrication technician, just because my go-to is I like messing with the jaws of life, the cutters, stuff like that. I have a blast. So yeah, that's basically it for what's coming up. Hopefully I have the passion for it, and that's my next subject. Actually, is passion. You got to be passionate about it. I don't want to talk too much about the passion, because you join the fire service because you want to do it or you don't want to do it. I mean, I get there's probably a time in that to where it's like you're kind of burnt out, you know what I mean? But me, I'm gung-ho about it. There's nothing I love more than riding in a big red truck going to a call. I just have that passion for it. I go to different towns, different cities, and I see a fire truck going down the road, and I'm like, hell yeah, go get them, bro. Like they're gonna do something fun. I mean, and take my fun with a grain of salt. I think all of it is fun, and that's coming from somebody with a messed up mind. But there is the hardships of it, of course. So take that into consideration too, because sometimes it's not all fun. It's just more of you enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? And you got to understand that you're gonna see the worst of it. But be passionate about it. Really be passionate about it, because if you're not passionate about it, it's not for you. I'll just be straight up. It's not. You gotta be for it. You gotta do it. You gotta want to do it. Like I said, it's whether it's the lift assist at 2 a.m. or the structure fire at 4 a.m. or during church. I mean, especially for volunteers, you could be at church and go on a call. I mean, that's just how it is. So be passionate. For those looking to get in the fire service, who want to know, what's one thing that it takes? Passion. It takes passion. It takes want. I was gonna keep this first stream shorter today. Right here I say wise words for me. So yeah, I got a little note card that says what I'm gonna talk about, because I'm trying to make this last. It'll come to me more, and I won't have to have this. But my wise words is be passionate. Want it. Want it. Want to do it. Get to it. The fire service is no joke. They need people. We need people. Whether that's volunteer or full-time. They need people. There's so many people that don't want to do it anymore. And yeah, it may seem like it's a lot of risk, no gain. But it's a lot of risk, and you will gain sometimes. You will feel good about yourself. I promise. You will the fire service will make you find yourself. I guarantee you that. If it's did anything for me, it's made me find myself. It's to the point where I wish we had more calls. I don't wish that anybody gets hurt. Don't get me wrong. I want everybody to stay safe, but be passionate. Want to do it. So, update on the podcasts. I'm doing it from my phone right now in my shop. Eventually, I have a desk right now. I want to switch the desk around. I got this wall of the shop right here that I want to, put the, God bless the USA. I want to put the thin red line flag back here, and then I want to kind of do a board with all different kinds of fire department patches, because I know there's some places that do that kind of stuff, and maybe buy a Halligan, stuff like that. I think it's good to have, because eventually I would like to get a door too. Those things are expensive, but probably get a door. Just make my own little cool wall. That way I have a cool backdrop instead of, motorcycles and a pickup and an open garage door. But a laptop, probably a microphone. I want to do guests have guests on my podcast. Like I said, I want to talk with other volunteers. I want to talk with, career departments. I want to talk with emergency managers. I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to civilians. I want to talk to people who left the service, just to get an insight of what they think about it and why. I mean, like I said, I want to get into it. I want to know everybody's thoughts, and it's not me trying to be nosy, I want to know what everybody thinks of it, right? So, yeah, I need a laptop. I promise I'm working on all this. It might take a little time, but I am. It's still not going to stop me from podcasting. I'm going to try to do it every Sunday night, and hopefully release it that night, or probably Monday morning. This one will probably come out Monday morning. So, yeah, equipment, and like I said, I want my little own workout area here. I'm trying to get started. I really want to do a podcast. I think the fire service is great. I had somebody that was a first responder the other day. He's like, well, have you had the call where you have to, and this might be very, hard to think on, but scraping a body off the road. And I was like, no, I haven't got into that yet, but that's why I want to start this podcast. So when I do get into it, I could tell people what it's like, how I feel. Because a big thing about first responding, mental health in general is big. I want to get that out there. Mental health is big. But when you do the fire service or any type of first responding, it's put on a whole different pedestal. It's on a different level, not necessarily on a whole different pedestal, but it's on a different level, because you see stuff that's unimaginable, you would never think could happen. And I have not gotten to that point yet. I'm sure at some point I will, but it just hasn't happened to me now. But again, that's why I'm starting this podcast, being newer. That way I could talk about it all. I mean, I want to talk about it all. So, and I want to be able to talk about different people and their experiences. So yeah, that's basically it. So last but not least, my goodbye. I really hope this podcast goes. I don't expect it to be big. I hope everybody knows that. I don't expect it to be big. But if I could give advice or have other people from, like I said, different agencies, departments, different lines of first responding, dispatchers, you name it. If I could get advice from them, input from them, see from their side how it is, I think that would be amazing. And I think I'm hoping that a lot more people would want to get into the fire service, you know what I mean? And if you're struggling with mental health, I suggest I hope you would go get help. I do suggest it too, because I've been there. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to get emotional, but I have been there. So, yeah. But like I said, it's just, I hope my podcast can make a difference, and I hope I get listeners that are interested, that want to listen. And who knows, maybe I'll be the reason you join, and great. I love that. I love that for you. I don't love that for me. I love that for you. So, with that being said, this is my first podcast, 45 minutes long. I hope you all had a good Sunday. I hope you all had a good week. And I hope to see y'all next Sunday. So, with that being said, brothers and sisters in the fire service, stay safe. Any first responder, stay safe. And for those of you who do watch this, you also stay safe. Be smart. So, see you guys next time. Hopefully next Sunday. I'm out.